Alright, so, as the ship takes off into the air above the forest of spores, you guys are, you can see that there is a lot of air traffic, a lot of ships that are taking off from this citadel, and as it descends down towards the forest below. Wallace, you are at the helm. How would you like to steer this ship?
I am going to try to kind of steer it away from other ships and see if I can remember approximately the location of where we were before, where that craft of theirs landed. Or geez, that was like near the old base underground.
Yes, and
Like,
you know that it was basically directly below you guys.
is there any way? Is there any way for anyone to look out, make sure we're not being followed?
Uh, I can do this. I just to let you know, Alex, I have a passive perception of 19.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't be too hard to notice if another ship was following you. So Wallace,
No.
are you gonna try to guide your ship just straight down to the ground? Then is that what you're doing?
Oh, it's yeah, I'm starting to. I'm immediately wondering if we really should stay under there. We have that craft to try to escape, but we could also escape into the forest of spores. I'm just gonna wonder this all aloud for the party. It could come crashing down on us. I want to go back to the lab. Maybe we can get that other craft of theirs to work. How did it work last time? We all just thought about the location? What do you all think? I'm going straight down into a place that seemed to be safe. It served as a safe haven for a great many years. I don't know if it can survive a city coming down on it, though.
I don't know what place you're talking about. Shroom is just awkwardly standing there, like, what are you even talking about?
Room and Gloom was your name? I don't think you would remember. Is there safety within the forest of spores?
The
Would I know of anywhere
mushroom,
nearby?
the mushroom folk that had the red and white cap, the tall, slender one, approaches. If I may, there is a safe haven in the forest. We can guide you there. A place that Dwarham has not found yet.
Point us in the general direction. We'll bring the ship part of the way, but I don't want to get too close with it. We'll go the rest of the way on foot. Anyone object?
Nope.
Try to guide it under the canopy so no one else can see where we're going.
The mushroom folk points off in the general direction of east.
Set the heading for east and try to drop below the tallest of the spore trees.
So as you
I'm assuming it's like a rainforest, like there's lots of levels of canopy here. I don't know.
Yeah, so you guys are piloting a pretty large craft this time around. It's large enough to, have all of the 50 mushroom folk aboard. Um, and the first thing that you would hit would be the big cloud of spores that hovers above even the tops of the mushroom canopies. Um, so, like, the ship begins to head down into this cloud of spores. Um, and as it does, Gloom, or not Gloom, sorry, Shroom, with your eyes on the horizon, you can see that you guys are the only ship that has broken off from the rest of the traffic. The rest of the ships all seem to be heading northwards. But as you squint into the sun, a shape kind of unfurls wings against the sunlight and begins to descend towards the ship, closing its
Steps into the
wings
forest now.
into a dive. You can see the shape of something vast and metallic, wings flapping in the air, as the three-headed mechanical dragon, still a ways off, begins to fly towards you guys.
Fuck that, gain altitude. Get ready to jump.
You can't. There are too many here.
I can't fight a dragon right now, can you?
We land and everyone can get out and run. There's like, what, 50
Perhaps-
other mushroom folk with us?
There are 50 mushroom folk, yeah.
Perhaps the spores will.
Fuck the mushroom folk.
Perhaps the spores can obscure us. I'm going to dive with the ship.
Alright, you dive the ship down into the cloud of spores. Yip and Atia, you guys still have rebreathers. The rest of you guys don't really need them, as the spores don't really affect you. The mushroom folk that's been talking to you guys thus far. Yes! Land! Land! We can obscure us, we can keep us hidden. We can protect all Mother's grace.
You heard him. Land now.
Very well, very well. Atia, look after Martin. What was his name? I'm sorry. I don't know if he has a
Martin the
rebreather.
White. He does not.
Martin the White.
He seems to be having a hard time right now. He's like coughing, and you can see his
Would I
eyes
know
are
what the
getting all-
spores would do to someone?
They, you know.
How
it's-
bad is it?
It's not safe to breathe, that's for sure.
Are there any of those
You know,
rebreathers on
fungi
the
like
ship?
To grow in, fungi like to grow in wet places, like, you know, in your lungs.
Lungs?
Are there any rebreathers on the ship?
Go ahead and
Like,
make
do
an
they have any
investigation
packed?
check.
Oh god, why am I doing this? Investigation. Normal roll, not with advantage. Oh god. No.
You look around, but you're not actually sure why he's coughing so much. It's just the gift of the All-Mother.
Do not worry,
be
small
fine.
one. Soon you will join with the rest of us.
Just take us down. Choking on spores is probably better than getting roasted by a dragon.
I'm gonna continue with the descent, but I highly encourage Yip and Atia to share their rebreathers with Martin. Unless it's too late. All right.
Gonna share your
To the
rebreathers
ground.
with Martin, or are you just gonna let him choke on the spores?
I will share the rebreather with Martin.
Alright.
I mean, what's the worst case? He turns into a mushroom.
Motherfucker dies.
We're a pro mushroom party.
Yeah, we like
God,
mushrooms
just
here.
wait.
No problem.
Oh.
Alright, so crashing down through the canopy of shrooms, you manage to land the ship in the thick fog of the forest of spores. There is a ramp that you guys can lower to descend down from the ship.
All right. I'm ready to lower the ramp. I see no reason not to.
The
Shroom's gonna start getting everybody ready to fucking book it.
the mushroom folk all kind of like clamber down the ramp. They're not fucking around. They move pretty quickly. Even the ones that seem to be old and all of them look pretty worse for wear from their imprisonment. But you can see they appear to be in high spirits, like arriving down in the the spore-covered forest. Once again, their home. And you can see the red-capped shroom kind of like start walking towards one of the larger mushroom trees that is right nearby you guys.
I'm gonna walk up and, you said you could hide us. I mean, I probably already know what he's gonna do.
We will travel through secret roads. We will go to Mother's Grace, secret city, hidden from Torum, hidden from outsiders. I must ask, I know they saved us, but is it safe to bring the others to a sacred place?
I'm gonna look. Well, currently we have a metallic rabbit, a little black kobold, and an elf. If they cause trouble, then I will put it to an end. I just say, holding the battle axe.
Decay and renewal, friend. The mushroom folk kind of like moves towards the tree, and you see a kind of like a pathway open up at its base that you could have sworn was not there a moment before. And he and the other mushroom folk begin to clamber down into the dark, damp tunnel beneath this mushroom.
I'm gonna gesture for everyone else to get in quickly before it gets here.
Overhead, you guys can hear a thrumming. The vast sound of wing beats. The spores begin to shift around you guys.
Well, y'all gonna get in?
What are these? Some sort of bats? We're coming. We're coming.
Move!
Maybe they
Come
don't
along,
like
yes.
it here.
Descending into the tunnel, as the last of you enters it, a blanket of fungal growth kind of like surges out, blocking the way back. Just in time, as you guys hear from right beyond the closed barrier to this tunnel, a massive thud as something lands outside, shaking the ground. Dirt kind of like begins to like fall down from the ceiling above you guys, and you guys can hear something moving around outside. The mushroom folk all kind of freeze, and everybody, you can see everyone's holding their breath.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop moving or make any noise.
After a moment of silence, there is a tremendous sound of carnage as you guys can hear the three-headed dragon ripping the ship that you guys flew down here apart. Then, a couple of moments later, the sound of wing beats as the dragon takes off into the away from the clearing that you guys landed in.
We should keep moving. Get to safety.
It will be a journey of at least a day to All Mother's grace.
When Gloom hears All Mother's name, her face becomes somber.
Something trouble you, sister?
A tale for private ears, brother. A sad tale.
My people are tired, though. Could we not rest now that we have escaped for some time?
I don't see why not.
Of course.
We could all use a rest, I think.
Of course. I'll keep watch over you. As I should have done. In there as well.
You tried your best, sister of the All Mother.
Tried. Yes. Tried.
Shroom just puts like a hand on your shoulder. We are back together now. Things will be different.
As one.
As one.
You guys are
Also,
in kind of
who
like
are you and why were you on that ship?
You guys are in like a large, mossy, fungal, mushroom-covered cavern, just beneath the surface. You can see there's
We
quite a
too
bit
have
of
been
room down
experimented
here.
upon.
Everybody's kind of setting up like a little camp down here right now.
I know we're supposed to have like a psychic connection to the All Mother. Anyway, I could like reach out to the roots and just kind of convey that. I found Shroom, or not Shroom, but Gloom. God, they're even messing me up.
You feel you feel from your connection to the All Mother like a great surprise, as though the and like for a second you feel the emotion that the thought was that Gloom must have been departed because they're not part of the connection.
I'm just going to look a little confused under my helmet and tell her that she's here. And probably like step away and be like just a little confused now, wondering what happened to his sister.
Brother, we could take first watch. There's much to talk about.
There's also things we must speak of, and Mother's grace may not be as safe as they say. At first, I turned to the other three. Who are you and why were you on that ship?
Well, we were there to blow it up.
We were there to save Wallace and then decided to blow it up.
I would say you were successful, at least for the most part. It is falling from the sky.
We are enemies of Torum. We've been imprisoned. We've been experimented on, tortured, beset against at all turns. Some of our men have fallen. I was saved by this group. They took me in when I was imprisoned by Ichigal. And now, 2 of us, 3 from the original party that had saved me have all disappeared. and to remain.
And some other grudges to settle, but we can get to those later.
I am sorry to hear of your friend's passing, but at least now they may become one with nature.
May the All Mother bless them.
Where are
We
my
would like
manners?
to
Oh, go ahead.
We have their remains and would like to commit them to a safe place once we arrive.
You may commit them into the earth at Mother's grace, perhaps. New life shall sprout from their bodies.
Fucking God,
May
shut
it be so.
What?
Yep, please, enough with the talking about how my friends are rotting. We talk about something else.
What were you doing in there then?
I was seeking my sister. I heard something, a shadow through the connection, but I couldn't. It seemed slightly familiar. I should also probably introduce ourselves. I am Shroom, Warden of the All-Mother, and this is my sister, Gloom.
Warden of the All Mother. Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Yes. What are your names?
Wallace.
Amatia.
Yep.
Shroom is gonna look at you, Atya, and be like, "Are you the Knight of the Summer Queen?"
And as he asks that, I just spin my head to look at you as well.
Atia's gonna look visibly confused. And she's gonna eye them both, like, head to toe. Like, I was the Knight of the Summer Queen.
You are part of the reason that I have entered that place. The All-Mother has sent me to find you, to warn you. Perhaps best before we arrive at Mother's Grace. I have been sent to warn you about a coven of Fey witches, hags that have been watching you and your party on behalf of the so-called King of Summers. They currently reside within Mother's Grace, but I do not know where. They no doubt will know of our arrival.
Maybe they've given up at this point. It's not exactly like we've been successful at stopping the Fae.
The Winter King. I refuse to call him by his other title. He will no doubt send someone to try and claim Atia's life, as they blame her for the Queen's death.
Oh, hopefully it's his night.
It wasn't my fault. I was framed by Orum and the Winter King.
He has brought great imbalance to the natural order. They and Torum both with this war. It has disturbed the All-Mother, and she seeks to bring back balance.
Thanks for the forewarning, Shroom. I do aim to bring back balance as well as I kill the Winter King with my own hands. And why not destroy Torum in the way?
Atia got dark.
Atia's going through something.
Yeah,
I bet.
You know,
I bet. I
it
bet.
makes a lot of sense.
As a former servant of the king of the court of summer, and my hatred and disdain for Torum and what they have done with the Gearforge technology, I will serve you, Atcha, Shroom, Gloom, in any way that I can. Yep, I know that your grudges align with ours. Will you remain with us?
No, I don't really have all that much of a choice right now. I mean, I have no idea where the fuck we even are.
Would I know where we are exactly on this map?
You guys are within the forest of spores. You're in like kind of the heart of it. Um, so like Mother's Grace is he's saying is eastward, southeast a little bit. So you guys are just kind of smack dab in the middle of the forest.
You are within the center of the forest of spores.
Well, I know that.
Then why did you ask?
Well, the Forest of Spores is a big place, and being in the middle of it doesn't necessarily mean I know my exact location, or where the fuck to go.
Mother's Grace is southeast? Short-term memory loss.
Yes. And you guys are, like, specifically on the map, probably, like, right below the R in Forest of Spores. The first R.
Yes, we're around there. We may be able to make contact with someone in the forest, or Mother's Grace. Would I know of anything in Mother's Grace that might have a connection to the All-Mother, or some way to report to her, other than the random connection to a tree? Any help?
I mean, it's like the sacred capital of the mushroom folk. There's like a, you don't have too much, like, direct knowledge of it, but, yeah.
Alright. We'll simply have to trust that our cousins will be welcoming to us. Me and my sister will likely be welcomed, but they are a bit wary of
In the middle of talking,
others.
you are cut off as there is an enormous earth-shaking explosion. Not like an explosion in the room, but it's almost like an earthquake happening around you guys as the citadel finally collides with the ground. The ground shakes, dust falls, and like for a moment it seems like the whole system here is gonna cave in. But after a moment, the shaking comes to a halt.
May nature reclaim their corpse. Anyway.
Gearforged will rust eventually, right?
Over time, the forest will retake what Torum has built. If they do not come back for it, at least. But in the meantime, he's gonna turn to Atya. If your goal is to re-bring balance to this realm, then I may ask to join you on this quest.
It is, after all, what we also seek.
Are you sure you want to do that? Seems like everyone that gets close to me perishes.
It would be quite hard for us to do so as well.
Besides, death is simply another natural event.
A cycle of sorts.
Thank God we can agree on. Well, I can use all the help I can get.
Then you have my shield. Oh, I don't want to say that.
Damn, I can't say you have my bow. God damn it.
I mean, you have my stinger or hammer or...
And you have my hammer.
Yeah, there we go.
And my gauntlet. It is an alliance of courts against winter.
Did she not already have that before you? Or did you just now decide to become her ally?
No, I'm swept up in the moment. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's perfectly fine.
The mage right, Val, comes over towards you guys, kind of like wringing his hands a little bit. You wouldn't happen to be the group that's been working with Sindal, have you? Or are you?
Why?
I don't remember his name. I'm looking at my notes.
Is that the wizard guy that died? Or God, there's so many names. So many people.
Grex Sindal, the leader of the Returner Party, and the...
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Politician.
Yeah, the politician.
I was a returner. You don't get much of a chance to speak out in Torum anymore, but it does me good to know he's still out there, still speaking out about it, against it and all. This war ain't right.
Oh. I turned to Yip. Was he the fellow that was in that tense meeting with Crowley and Tafkin?
You met with Crowley? The Crowley? Grand Magister Crowley? And he didn't just kill you? You must have something he wants.
Yeah, kind of surprising. Oh, I'm certain we don't. If we do, I think he would have taken it.
I'm gonna look at Gloom and then look back and be like, you met with the one named Tafkin.
Unfortunately.
I was quite new to the group, but the others had run in with him before. He is some sort of perpetual enemy to us. To all of the land, it seems.
Then he, like the rest, shall be buried beneath it.
Yeah, we've been working on that.
I whispered to Yip, did Grex survive that meeting?
He did.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I was worried we were going to have to break some bad news to this guy.
Well, I suppose we should probably get some rest before making our way to Mother's Grace. We will likely be expecting some kind of, I don't know, aggression. I don't know what the hags will do when we get there. What plan they have devised.
Well, now that the city has fallen, I feel like we can finally rest.
I will take first watch.
As will I.
Alright, so Shroom and Gloom set up to take watch. The rest of the mushroom folk and Val and Martin seem to be settling in for a night of sleep. Is everybody else just going to bed, or what's everyone doing?
Yeah, Yip will find some corner off alone and try to get some sleep.
I too am eager to make repairs with my trusty screwdriver.
Oh yeah, you got a whole new body. You gotta fix that shit.
I'm gonna slowly work this thing into the image of myself that was posted.
We technically had 3 character deaths on that
How
ship.
many long rests do I have to take to look like myself again? Is it like 4 or 5?
Yeah, I would say probably 4 or 5. That sounds about right.
Just slowly working on it.
Alright, so yes, Shroom and Gloom, you two take up position. You can see Atia is meditating. Yip has curled into a little ball and is in the middle of some fitful sleep. And Wallace is making repairs on himself.
I'm gonna look to Gloom. What has happened to you, sister? The All-Mother says that she cannot feel the connection with you anymore.
Can you feel a connection to me, brother?
I can't, right? Like,
No, you cannot.
yep, nope. I'm gonna try to, like, make physical contact. Like, I'm gonna, like, touch her face or something and try to, like, maybe a physical connection. I don't know.
You touch
This
her
is weird
face.
for mind shit.
You touch her face and you try to make the connection, and as your hand shifts, it brushes against the crown that is attached to her head, and instantly your hand recoils as you feel like a great pain shoot through your body and mind.
What is that crown? It feels unnatural.
As everything Tafskin does. A gift from him.
Yes.
Maybe I should start from the beginning. When I crossed the portal, these lands were new, were different. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know there were hunters. And I was taken hostage. It pains me to say I wasn't strong enough. And I was experimented for years. I pull aside one of my shrooms near my neck, and you can see that carved in my skin is the number 18. I thought I had escaped with others, but you found me captured again. Something that will never happen again, because I will end him so he never does this to anyone ever again.
I'm gonna grab Gloom by her shoulders, like, I will be there when you do. You are not alone in this anymore, sister. This man will die.
Yes, brother. He will.
But For now, let us think on happier thoughts. We are back together. And we will be strong.
Would you be so kind as to tell the Old Mother that I will find a way to connect with her again? That I will forever be her warden.
I will tell her this, but I suspect whatever is wrong with you may be the crown. We should try to find someone who can remove it.
I'm sure he knows, and it will be the last thing he says before he dies.
I will speak to the All-Mother on this. Perhaps she can provide some wisdom.
Be able to feel her again. Nothing would please me more.
And I'm gonna do my weird mushroom mind shit again and like try and contact the All-Mother and just get across at least. We probably aren't gonna be able to get too much detail, but I'm gonna get across like the shit that has happened. The fact that we've run into Atya, I've warned her about the witches, the shit that's happened to Gloom. Try to get that across.
You feel a warmth.
Alright. I'm probably gonna ask, like, any other orders? I mean, I found Atya.
You feel just like a sense of rightness, like that you're doing what she could have hoped.
Alright, that's good enough. Alright. Gonna go back on to watch and probably stay very close to my sister.
Alright, so, after a couple hours, it would be time to wake somebody up for watch. Do you guys want to wake somebody up, or what are you guys doing?
Would Atya be up yet from her, thing? Because I know hers is, like, less time than
4
other
hours,
people's sleep.
and it's only been 2.
Alright, probably wake Wallace then.
I approach Wallace and be like, Tin Man, it's your turn.
I look up very quickly and with mad eyes for a moment as I shake off the thoughts of what I'm in the middle of. Ah, yes, I can take watch. Yes, sorry, I I don't know if I can I take this rest interrupted? I mean, I need 6 hours, but technically, yeah, I'm
it's only
awake
2
for the
hours.
whole thing. Yeah,
Well, it's only
yeah,
2
okay.
hours out of the
Yeah,
8-hour
so
rest.
the way that for 5th edition, a long rest is 8 hours, but it's 6 hours of sleeping and then 2 hours of light, just like chilling out, which means that you can have you can take a 2-hour watch and then still get 6 hours of sleep. So
okay, all right, yeah, and I'm
When Shroom goes to sleep, he just lays down and like all of the like mushrooms and everything on him just begins to grow into the wall. Almost like a weird cocoon of spores and shit.
I look the same, but I'm lying against a tree, so it kind of feels like I'm melting into it.
Wallace, are you
I hobble
taking
over
your,
to
watch by yourself, or are you waking anyone else up?
I'll take the watch by myself. I hobble over to where they were watching from. My legs are currently different lengths.
I didn't want to wake up Yip. He seemed agitated. Like a very angry little thing.
Alright, so Wallace, you take a position, and you find, as you are taking watch, you find that your mind drifts back to the strange construct Copernicus. It seemed to know you, but from where and how?
So many theories. It could be from my past, one of my old lab assistants, perhaps someone who even helped me get to where I was, but these damn memories. Some
After a couple more hours, Atia, you awaken from your meditation. You can see Wallace standing, or kind of sitting off to the side, watching the wall that you guys came in from.
Wallace, you can go back to sleep. Did something happen?
Oh, no, nothing happened on my watch. I was just wondering about that creature that helped us back in the city. Feel like I knew him from my old life, but I just can't quite piece it together. I do wish we could find some remains of him, but for now, we must continue forward. Hell, off to making my repairs. Thank you.
Yep, after, it's been 6 hours of sleep as well, so, no, wait, it's only been 4 hours. Yeah, so Atia, you, take Wallace's position as he, trudges off to go back to his repairs.
Just probably playing, or not playing, but looking at George, the emotional support rock.
Oh man, I'm crying right now.
You find yourself with,
Oh,
in one hand, George, the emotional support rock, in the other hand, the fractured piece of Kryn's mask. It seems to look at you through the single eye hole.
I'm sorry, Kryn. I thought you had it, and you didn't, and no one had you either.
it's okay. Don't blame yourself.
Oh, what is that? I'm hearing voices. Kryn!
Only silence from the darkness.
Also to note, George is made out of that weird stone stuff that powers our shit, or the one ship.
Oh, he's Durinate George now?
That's what you told me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you told me that a while back.
Oh,
Back in the mine, when we were doing that whole time loop.
right.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to use him to make some sort of weapon to kill Tafkin. Then I have like an emotional support gun or something. But that's not gonna happen.
After a little while, yep, you awaken from your sleep. It was not as refreshing as you'd hoped. You feel like you've just awoken from some really fucked up nightmares, but you can't remember any of them.
Just kind of sits up and leans back against a tree.
You see the two mushroom people that kind of just look like corpses bleeding into the ground.
You can see Atian nearby holding Kryn's mask and George.
Just looks away. He doesn't really want to talk to Hatsuya right now. He'll look down at the ring and just kind of stare at it for a little bit.
Oh my god, this has turned into Lord of the Rings.
Precious.
The ring sits silently on your finger, your blackened finger. The color of your scales truly did turn to black. A feeling that is disconcerting, to say the least. The ring, imbued with the power of the Night Weaver, is uncharacteristically quiet right now.
Just kind of puts on an angry face, which he's kind of already had for a bit now, and sits in silence.
For the entire last arc.
Yeah, pretty much.
Finally, after the full 8 hours, everybody awakens.
I pull myself away from the wall. Some of the mushrooms that were like attaching me to it kind of break off and kind of like start growing by themselves. Which is probably also note, my guy is like almost constantly like there's almost constantly like small clouds of spores coming off of him. I imagine like every time he talks, there's just like a little cloud of spores coming out of the helmet. Have you all rested?
Yeah.
Yes, good as new.
Then we may continue our journey.
Gloomstar's corralling the rest of the mushroom people.
The tunnel underneath the mushrooms stretches in several different directions. You can see that the tunnels seem to like expand and constrict, almost like a like the thing has like a heartbeat, or like the earth here is breathing. It's a strange feeling. But the tunnels, spreading out in different directions, all stretch out of sight. You can see the mushroom folk begin to head down a tunnel that's to your guys' right, leading off to the what you guys can assume to be the southeast, towards Mother's Grace.
I'm gonna probably stand behind whoever's like actually leading the whole mass group, kind of like in a protective thing, just in case we run into some weird trouble in these tunnels.
Hey, Alex, how many hit points did I come back on?
Full. Well, you also just long rested, so.
It's like you. Usually, I'm not like so low that it matters, but like it's not like you just get full hit points back in the long run. Sorry.
You do. Usually, right? I mean, it's your hit dice that you only get half of those back
Yeah.
Yeah.
at a long rest. But you get full hit points at a long rest.
Mhm.
We're gonna need to get new tokens on this map.
Yes, sir.
Oh. These lovely ones that Ash made. Thank you, Ash.
My pleasure.
Okay. So as you guys head off down the long winding tunnels, let's go ahead and take another break here.